what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Sorry about that. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? How are you? Are you doing well? So, I'm your host, BKP. Sorry about that. I'm your host, BKP. There's my glasses. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on Voice of RuralAmerica.com. VoiceOfRuralAmerica.com. Good morning, Diana. Hope you're doing well. Now, wow. So, I didn't sleep well last night, and I just I didn't. I mean, it wasn't my worst night's sleep, but you know, I started getting messages, and I was going through X, and I'm getting text messages from people, what's going on, right? Give me number 90. And so Trump leaves the G7. So we're going to go through all of this. Trump leaves the G7 abruptly. Says he has to get back to the Situation Room. Calls everybody in. That created a little bit of panic. All right. Leaves the G7. So he had to get back to the office. A little bit of panic started last night. Then, yes, the U.S. military's doomsday plane, the Boeing E-4B, has been spotted taking off there in Nebraska. The plane is designed to be flying command center in the event of a nuclear war or other national emergency. It is a sniffer plane, what's called a sniffer plane. A nuclear detection or sniffer plane has also been deployed. So a sniffer plane was deployed, what's called a sniffer plane, last night. that alarmed a lot of people. Trump at the same time headed back to the Situation Room. And so we don't know. There's a lot of talk that if Iran had a nuclear weapon, has had, or soon will have a nuclear weapon, that they would not attack Israel based on the wind shifting back towards Iran. They would probably attack Europe and the great Satan, the United States, according to them. So that was one thing that was going on last night. That was one thing going on. There was a lot of people that were texting what's going on, what's happening. Number 85. So we're gonna get right into several subjects this morning, but every single U.S. military base in the Indo-Pacific just changed their force protection condition from Alpha to Bravo, level 3 of 5. Level 3 of 5. What is going on? Now we have this right here, right? We have give me number 41, Diane. This is from Istanbul. You can find this. China urges citizens to leave Israel as soon as possible. That was actually yesterday. Yesterday, the 17th. Well, it's still the 17th here. But China urges citizens to leave Israel as soon as possible. And then there is, I watched this morning as President Trump arrived back. Give me 67. I want to go from 67, and then I want 66 right after that. That's 5:06 Eastern Time. President Trump arriving back at Andrews Air Force Base there from Canada, Air Force One, and here is 66. President Trump returns to U.S. This morning. That is at 5:10 a.m. So we're watching everything happening at 5:10. It's 8 o'clock. It was 3 hours ago that President Trump landed and headed back into the Situation Room. We don't know who's in there, what they're talking about. We don't have anything that I'm aware of that has come out of the Situation Room at this time. So if you get an alert or you see an alert out there, Diane, I have both of my phones set for a possible alert. We will go right into that, or if something is taking place. But Trump did leave abruptly yesterday and headed back to the Situation Room. All right. Emmanuel Macron angered Trump yesterday. Give me 72. Publicly seeking President Emmanuel publicity. All right. I don't think he likes the French President Macron or his husband. Publicly seeking President Emmanuel Macron, publicity seeking, of France, mistakenly said that I left the G summit in Canada to go back to D.C. to work on a ceasefire between Israel and Iran. Wrong. He has no idea why I am now on my way to Washington, but it certainly has nothing to do with a ceasefire, much bigger than that. Whether purposefully or not, Emmanuel always gets it wrong. Stay tuned. So, and then we have, let's see, I have a couple of these here. Number 26, the president sent out a truth post. I have not reached out to Iran for peace talks in any way, shape, or form. This is just more highly fabricated fake news. If they want to talk, they know how to reach me. They should have taken the deal when that was on the table, would have saved a lot of lives. All right. And then he notified, sorry about that. He notified an evacuation of Tehran. I have that here somewhere, but I think all of you have seen that. He notified a evacuation of Tehran, telling everyone it would be best if you leave Tehran now. A lot of moving parts. So as we go through this morning, I was just looking for the one. Here it is. Give me 79, Diane, if you could, please. Iran should have signed the deal. I told them to sign. What a shame and waste of human life. Simply stated, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I said it over and over again. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. That was at 6:30 last night. At 6:30 last night, he said everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran in Iran. I think most of you watched the state TV in Iran, the building get blown up right in the middle of a broadcast. At 6:30, that's when Trump left abruptly the G7, headed back home. We have the picture, the live picture this morning. I watched it at 5:06 when he landed back AM this morning, headed to the Situation Room. So why the sniffer planes in the air? Why the sniffer planes in the air? Now, I don't know the technical term, but if Iran could launch a nuclear weapon, and send it this way, even if it detonated in midair, the sonic blast from that weapon could take out our power grid for thousands of miles or square miles, whatever it may be, our water system, whatever it may be. So I don't know. Sniffer planes were out, maybe doing a test run, see if they work, but they were out. So as we cover this and get deeper into it, why is Tulsi Gabbard being left out of all the discussion? Where is CIA Ratcliffe? Okay. And why is Tulsi Gabbard, why was she left out of the Camp David meeting in June, early June, like June 8th? Why was she left out of the Camp David meeting? Why did she say in March that there was no intelligence to show a bomb being made and assembled in Iran? And Netanyahu has said on the TV that it could be up to a year. We're told it's very close. Why is Tulsi Gabbard left out? We will talk about that later in the program. No, I will not be purchasing number 22. I do have a Trump watch, but the media is give me number 54. Trump's smartphone can't be built in America for $499 by August. $47.45 a month. The new Trump wireless plan, number 55. Trump Make America Great phone, the Trump phone that came out yesterday. And number 56, the Trump watch. I do have a Trump watch. I have to admit that I have. Is that there? It is. I do have a Trump watch. Okay, but I will not be purchasing a Trump phone. I will not be purchasing. I will not have a Trump phone, and that goes directly for a Democrat. There's a Democrat. Well, there's more than one who watches the show every day and always sends me these little things. All right. There's an election in Georgia today and a primary election in Virginia. In Georgia, we have number 20 today. If you're in Georgia, please go vote. Go vote. Early voting's over. It is Tuesday, November 17th. It's election day. I support Lee Munns for Public Service Commissioner, District 2. This is election day. If you want to find out a little more about Lee, you can find his website right there. But go vote today in Georgia. Because I'm telling you right now, Democrats are going to talk about turnout, low voter turnout, some certain things like that. Let's get our vote count up however you choose to vote, but get out and vote today in Georgia for our Public Service Commissioner races. By the way, number 30. We hear rumors. We hear rumors that the 2020 election was stolen. I mean, we just do. We hear rumors, right? The FBI has located documents which detail alarming allegations related to the 2020 U.S. election, including allegations of interference by the Chinese Communist Party. I have immediately declassified the material and turned the documents over to Chairman Grassley for further review. Well, we're glad that's solved. Wow, right? 2020. By the way, our good friend over here was found liable, number 33. Number 33, our good friend Mike Lindell. Mike proven wrong again. My Pillow CEO says verdict is awesome after he's found liable for defaming former Dominion voting system employee. All right. Number 34, a federal jury in Colorado on Monday afternoon found My Pillow CEO Mike Lindell liable of defamation, siding with the former Dominion voting system employee who alleged that Donald Trump loyalists caused real-world harm in 2020 stolen election conspiracies. He aired at his 2021 Cyber Symposium. All right. So, Mike Lindell is found liable for defaming the former Dominion voting system employee in that case. So go ahead and take that down. Now, let me say this, okay? I knew this was coming. Let me see if there's something else I want to just pop out before we go to break. Oh, by the way, Ukraine is getting pounded by Russia right now. Yeah, that's kindly off the front page. And we'll talk about that later. Trump leaves, right? Give me number 40. Trump was supposed to meet with Zelensky today. Yes, there was supposed to be a meeting with Zelensky. Trump leaves G7 summit early ahead of anticipated June 17th meeting with Zelensky. So we don't know if they talked at all, but he was supposed to have a meeting today with Zelensky, and that's not happening. So Russia is actually pounding Kiev right now. Okay, so this is going on. So yesterday I watched, and I don't watch very much, and I don't attack the guy. I don't attack people, but I understand everybody's got a bucket of water in the morning, except your host here, BKP. Everybody's got a bucket of water. Everybody's carrying a bucket of water, and we're always trying to find out, okay, are they telling us truthfully what's happening, or is it based on the bucket of water they're carrying that day? And that's Steve Bannon. I don't come on here and attack Bannon. A lot of you like to watch Steve Bannon. Take that down. I for one, always know that there's an angle with Bannon, and that's not a negative, but there's always an angle. But right now, it's what wing of MAGA do you belong to? What wing of MAGA? Now, give me video 3, Diane, video 3.
David French, you are also part of the expat conservative community like me. We are conservatives living in a strange land what is being called conservative now, Ronald Reagan would not have recognized. Hell, people 10 years ago wouldn't have recognized. I'm curious, your thoughts on this civil war inside the MAGA world about the Tucker Carlson side, the isolationist side, the so-called America First side, versus those who, since 1979, have seen Iran as the epicenter of terrorism on the globe, believing that if you can take down the Islamic State in Iran, or if you can stand back and watch Israel do it, that's not a bad thing. I'm curious your thoughts on that.
Yeah. Okay, so before I go to break, let me just say something, okay? And I don't do it very often, but I am getting messages from every side of this. And I appreciate it. And I often come on here every day and tell you how much I enjoy the discussion. But yesterday, from some of the messages that I got and some of the studying I was looking at, and the people that were involved, this is larger than any man. You understand? So Donald Trump is my president. And Donald Trump I support as my president of the United States. But I never lost. I have never lost sight that Donald Trump is a man at the end of the day. I don't get into lanes. I like certain people. I like to listen because of history. Some people have history. They have information going back with CIA and so forth. I do like to listen to Tucker Carlson. In the past, I've listened to others. But what I'm very clear on with all of them is they're all going down a lane. Some I agree with, some I don't, some I agree with a little bit. But there's only one true lane that you can go down at this time discussing Israel. And folks, it's biblical. It's biblical, okay? Now, I'm not going to go in. You have to search the word of the Lord. The Lord is the only, Jesus Christ is the only lane that is true. Only one. All right? I'm not sitting here today. Now, I live in this world. The Bible talks about living in the world. I live in this world. And I want to leave this world in a position, in a better place. I don't like war. The Bible doesn't tell me I have to like war. The Bible doesn't tell me I have to get up and be okay if children are killed in a bomb, no matter who they are, no matter if they're in Gaza, no matter where they're at. The Bible never told me to get up and say, that you should be joyful that a kid was killed, or a kid is hungry, or a kid is mistreated. The Bible said, and gives a warning to anyone that would mistreat a child. The Bible doesn't say mistreat a child in this country. The Bible doesn't say, you want to pull it up and look at it? Because we can quote it if we have to. The Bible doesn't say mistreat a child in this country. The Bible doesn't say, Jesus didn't say, well, you can mistreat a child if their parents believe this. Anyone would rather do anything to mistreat a child. So that is something that I'm not going to apologize for in any way whatsoever. I don't care where the child is killed. I don't care what the conflict is. And I don't care what the reasoning is. I'm never going to sit here and say I'm okay that children get killed in a conflict. I'm not going to. It's not going to happen here. But one thing I'm not going to do is get out of this lane. I'm not going to. And I found it necessary this morning because I'm hearing, I'm hearing all the wings and which one is right. And will this break up the Republican Party? And will this end Donald Trump's presidency? And I'm thinking the world better prepare themselves for the only name above all names and the only lane to eternity. And it's in the Bible, and it's prophetic, and you will see. I will not turn on Israel. I will not. I don't like the things that the Israeli government does. I don't like the lobbying they do in this country. There's a lot of things they do I don't like. But guess what? God says that the Jews are his people. And there's a lot of things they do that God doesn't like. So I'm going to leave it there. Okay. But if you are really searching this morning and you're trying to find just like, where am I at? Why is this happening? Why is Tucker saying this? Why now is Marjorie Taylor Greene saying this? What does Steve Bannon think? Although I do listen to these people and I listen to their shows and I read a lot of their articles and comments, I never lose my focus on what lane I'm in. And that's all I'm asking you today, because it is kind of scary out there. I have friends and I love you very much. And you know that. You know how I am. I don't have hate in my heart, but I got friends that Donald Trump, if Donald Trump tells them to do something, they do it. They don't question it. And if Donald Trump makes a comment and says he will now decide what America first is, it's my decision, Trump said. Hey, Trump said it. But I want to be clear with you one more time. When Trump came down the escalator at Trump Tower and said he was running for president of the United States, I have supported Donald Trump from that day through the stolen election to this day, where I wear a Trump watch, a Trump button, and got a Trump hat hanging here. He's my president and I support him. But that's it. That's it. Please be open to disagree, open to think, and most of all, clear on what lane you're in. All right, let's take a break and we'll be right back to talk about some of these other lanes. I'm your host, BKP.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender. We take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, I'm your host, BKP. Sorry about that. I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Go vote. If you're in Georgia, go vote. If you're in Virginia, go vote. But today in Georgia, Public Service Commissioner set your power rates. It's a very important job to just give someone with low voter turnout. Go vote. Now, I don't know why we set these elections up. Well, basically, I do know. We'll talk about that in the Georgia Hour. But these elections should not be set up just out there in June how does this happen? But anyhow, it is election day in Georgia. Go vote. I got a notice from a precinct captain here in North Georgia County that said they only had 4 voters in the entire precinct. Probably a precinct with 400 or 500 voters in the precinct. But anyhow, go vote. All right. So I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. And we talked about this when we opened up. We talked about the lanes that everybody is in, and you're hearing about the MAGA Civil War. We'll get into that in a minute. And Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene. So let me just say this. I want to get into some other stuff, okay? Because political stunts I don't enjoy, but we must cover them. I was in Saturday before last. I was in a room where Marjorie Taylor Greene got up there and gave a rah, rah, rah cheering speech. And it sounded as though she wants to run for governor of Georgia. Now, she has not announced she wants to run for the governor of Georgia to be the next governor. And according to Sally Grubbs, first vice chair of the Georgia Republican Party, she doesn't even stand a chance. But that being said, I listened to MTG, all right, give what I call a I'm running for governor speech. And many of us, even the AJC, like them or not, they are the news outlet for the Democrat wing of the Republican Party of Georgia, which seems to be everybody down in Atlanta. All right, trying to move right along. Her getting involved and taking a side and sounding America first. I always get cautious when the MTG surfaces, okay? She goes and gets some fresh bleach and she surfaces and takes a side. I always get nervous on that. When I say that, I get like, oh, right, what is she up to? Now, I'm not, but here's my interest, okay? I want to get out of that. So I have lived, according to Ron Paul, I have never lived in the Republic. I have never enjoyed the Republic for which it stands, one nation under God. According to Ron Paul, we lost the Republic, right, on, where was it at? I had it here. On November 22nd, 1963, when JFK was murdered. Now, we talk about regime change, okay? We talk about regime change. But November 22nd, right here in this country where you live, 1963, I'm not going to give you my age, but I was well on my way. I'm just putting it like that. But this date happened in history, and then the next greatest date in history was the birth of BKP. Just saying, all right? But that happened. So according to Ron Paul, I have lived my entire life in a post-coup, a regime change, United States of America, that we have never seen the documents on, that they will not allow us to see the documents on, where we feel the CIA and others were involved in killing, regime change, a coup in the United States of America. So I have lived my whole entire life in the post, according to him, he says that's the day we lost the Republic. So I've lived my whole entire life in the post-Republic of the United States of America. Now, that's important to me. Now, another thing I've done, let me tell you what else I've done. All right. I've lived 46 years. Now, I lived when Iran took the hostages, okay? I actually was I was alive and coherent and aware of the Shah of Iran, right? I remember that. I remember the fall. Actually, I was alive in 1979 when the Ayatollah Khomeini, is that who it was, right? And their religious body that took over in 1979. You know what else I've done? I've lived 46 years while in 1979. I've lived 46 years. Probably shouldn't be given these numbers. 46 years I lived with Iran under that control. Right? 46 years. And you see, I'm a skeptic. We'll call it that. I'm a skeptic because I tell you where else I was alive and paying attention. Because, you know, my father is guilty of child cruelty. Oh, my God. Oh, my mom, if she's watching, my father's guilty of child cruelty because I've been in front of the TV watching the news since I was 4 years old, my first vivid memories of the news. So I was aware of this, right? Then let me tell you what else I was aware of. I was sitting there the day, and it was very important to me. And at this time, I don't know I'm living in the post-Republic era of the United States of America. But I was there. 46 years I've lived with Iran just the way they are. 46 years. 46 years. Okay. Now, I do know Barack Obama gave them billions of dollars, and I understand all that. And I'm not taking Iran's side. But I'm a little bit of a skeptic because I was also sitting right there on February 5th, 2003. And I watched Colin Powell come out with all these charts and graphs, right? And every time this happens, and I see something like this, I thought I had one. Maybe I don't. You know what? I'm so tired of seeing them. I don't think I have one. I don't think I saved one. Because I'm tired of seeing the chart and graph with all of the nuclear facility sites and things like that. So I don't think I put one up because I'm just tired of looking at them. But you know, when you look on TV or wherever, or fixed news, that's fixed news, aka Fox. Friends don't let friends watch Fox News, where the warmonger machines. All right. So every time you see someone come up on TV, if you're younger than I am, don't take that wrong. If you're in this generation, listen to me. Every single time they come up with one of those pictures and they tell you where all of Iran's nuclear facilities are located, right? Located, and how many miles it would take to get there, and we'd have to refuel here, and we have to have this kind of plane with a bunker buster here, and we'd have to do this, right? See, on February 5th, 2003, I was glued to the TV. We did not have quite the graphics then. And Colin Powell had charts and graphs at the UN Security Council, and they were showing me. I'm going to talk about me. They were showing me where Saddam, his chemical factories were, and they were showing me what the production dates were and how fast he could produce this chemical and how many people it would kill and how far the warheads would go that he could strap them to and what direction he would go first. I watched all of that. Right? Now, when you go back and you look, what are we, 37 trillion? I mean, just yesterday it was 36, but it's rolling right along. Whatever trillion we're at, right? And we have, what, 9 trillion? Is it 9 trillion of that is over there in the Middle East, Afghanistan, and so forth? So the American people, my age and older, all right? The American people, we had enough. We had enough. We don't know who we can trust. We don't know what chart and graph is correct. We know Lindsey Graham, to me, this is my personal opinion. Lindsey Graham is, for me, is what I just hear this. He's an alcoholic. He's a Senate drunk. I'm sorry, folks. I'm tired of what I call Senate drunks that have a liquor cabinet in the office. And half the House members, I'm not getting into that, with the exception of mine, Andrew Clyde, my congressman I'm very proud of. But I'm tired of what I call a Senate drunk that sobers up enough, puts a little Vitalis in his hair and, goes over to the networks and says, regime change, full speed ahead. He has no wife. Hey, that's up to you to figure out, okay? He has no kids. He has nothing in there. He's just a warmonger, goes out and says, game on. No. You see, I just got to give you this, okay? You see, I was there. I've lived in the post-Republic era. So I don't fall for the lanes. I'm a skeptic. I ask questions. 1 minute, I'm told, now, I want to go into this. And that's the reason I say that. And I do think that is the number one reason why I don't think, this is my personal opinion, and we love to have the discussion here, but I personally don't think America hates Israel. I really don't, because I personally don't. I mean, I cannot be, I understand God's not pleased with the Jews. That's pretty bold. I know that I could get in trouble. But God's not pleased with the Jews. But let me tell you what God has also not done. Turned his back on his people. So I'm not asking you to be pleased with the Jews or the state of Israel. But I don't think America has turned their back on Israel. I think America has heard enough. Because I was also here when Netanyahu came to the UN and he put up charts and graphs and he showed us where all the, now if you go back, if you notice, they don't show any of that. They don't show any of that. You remember when Netanyahu came over here and I was a wee little lad? No, it was just years ago. Was it 10 years ago? I mean, it was a long time ago. A long time. He came over here and he put up on the UN that if we didn't do something now, it's what he said, okay? If we didn't do something now, he put up the charts and graphs. If you're out there and you don't know that, please do the research. Get the date, the time that Netanyahu came over here at least a decade ago and went to the UN, put up the charts and graphs. He showed where Iran was developing nuclear weapons, right? And he gave the timeline on when they would enrich enough uranium to strap to a warhead and send our way. And he gave us the amount of time that we had to deal with it. 10 years later. Now, I don't support Iran. I don't support the Islamic State of Iran. I don't support death to America. I don't support the death and the annihilation of Iran. It's so many people upset in that region. With Iran, they are. Jordan is upset. They don't want the battle. They don't want the war, but they're upset with Iran in the region. The list goes on. But at the same time, then, right, Netanyahu says, we have to do this. And he tried to get Trump to do it in the first administration. Trump didn't budge. Trump moved our embassy in the first administration, folks, from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. That was big. So I don't think the American people have turned their back on Israel. I, for one, have not. I don't think the American people have turned their back on the Jewish people and their right to have a nation in the existence. I, for one, have not. But I do think the American people said, whatever you do over there, you do over there, and you do it without me. I really do. We had enough. No matter if it is the time, and I'll just say it like that, not advocating, no matter if it is the time that maybe we should help in some way, and I'm not saying we should. We watched our kids, Afghanistan, Iraq, Somalia, whatever, wherever. We watched, where was that? Anyhow, we watched our kids come home missing legs, right? Missing arms. Nowhere to live. You see, we are my age. I'll just go my age, talk about me and me only. We're tired of that. We're tired of that. We know you lied to us about Vietnam. We know that. We're able to read the history that's come out about Korea and others, but we know you lied to us. And then on 9/11, you let planes, I said it, you let planes go into towers, leading us to believe that something nefarious happened, and we didn't know anything about it. So I sit here today at my age, and I keep saying that, to where I'm a little bit skeptical, okay? So I don't get in a lane real fast with Steve Bannon. I don't get in a lane real fast with Tucker Carlson. I don't get in a lane with MTG. And I certainly don't get in this lane that anything Donald Trump says goes. I don't know where that's coming from. So let's move along, all right? Here is where I'm concerned. Give me number 4. We talked about this yesterday. We'll talk about MAGA, America First, in a minute. Because that America First is going to set me off also, because I also lived through that. Gabbard, Iran, not currently developing a nuclear weapon. So in March 25th, 2025. So back in March, she testifies as the Director of National Intelligence. Now, she's the Director of National Intelligence. What does the Director of National Intelligence do? The Director of National Intelligence compiles a daily briefing. So who's doing it? Who has Trump's ear? See, the Director of National Intelligence compiles from all intelligence agencies, everyone, a daily briefing. And this individual is supposed to brief the President of the United States every morning. Now, they're supposed to do it personally. That's the way it's set up to do, personally, to brief the President of the United States. But if not personally, the President of the United States, while he's getting his orange juice, I don't know, Trump might have a Big Mac and a Diet Coke for breakfast. I don't know what this guy, you don't know what this guy, okay? But while you're getting your orange juice and your eggs and your poached or whatever, you know, that's what fancy people do, so I'm trying to be fancy. You have this folder laying over here that says your daily national intelligence briefing. Every day. That's what she's supposed to do for the President of the United States. She is supposed to be aware of everything moving out there. Everything. She's the director. Can we get the director, please? And the director? And you are? I am the director. I direct it. Oh. So, just saying. That's who she is, right? So, on March 25th, 2025, she sits down. She testifies to the Senate Intelligence Committee in public. Hey, we can't find any indication that they're even building a nuke. All right? Now, that's what she says. We played yesterday. Iran is not currently developing a nuclear weapon. Now, Netanyahu goes on Fox News, the War Drum News Network, all right? And Netanyahu goes on Fox News, and it could be a year with him, right? It could be a year. So, this is what concerns me. Now, I talked about this. I went out, I gathered information, and I read articles. And I read several articles, and I looked at this right here. Give me number 44. Now, Camp David. I can't remember the last time. Well, I'm not going into Camp David. Do you know who Camp David's named after? David Eisenhower. You know who David Eisenhower is? That's Eisenhower's grandson, right? Check me out. All right, anyhow, recent discussions regarding Tulsi Gabbard not being invited to a Camp David meeting are linked to a meeting Donald Trump's entire foreign policy team in June. I think it was June 8th. Tulsi's not invited. She doesn't go to Camp David. Now, June 2025, some observers like Hugo Lowell of X. Now, Hugo's not a right-leaning, far from it. He is an MSNBC contributor. Noted this is a snub from high-level national security discussions. Axios also confirmed that Tulsi Gabbard, director of national intelligence at the time, did not attend this particular meeting. However, the exact reason for her non-invitation to this specific meeting has not been publicly disclosed. All right? Now, go to 45. Trump held lengthy Camp David strategy session with top team on Iran and Gaza. President Trump and his entire top foreign policy team huddled at Camp David for hours. Now, this is June 8th. I think I wrote it down, right? Sunday on June 8th. Now, this is right after March. Now, connect the dots. President Trump and his entire foreign policy team huddled in Camp David for hours on Sunday to discuss U.S. strategy on the Iran nuclear crisis. Now, I get it. I don't want Iran to have a nuke. I agree. When they say Iran can never have a nuke, I agree with that. I mean, Iran has said death to America is not a slogan, it's a policy. Iran has said, the supreme leader of Iran has said that wiping Israel off the face of the map is not a threat. It's their policy. So I understand that. You don't want them to have a nuclear weapon. Got it. Huddled in Camp David for hours on Sunday to discuss Iran nuclear crisis. It's a crisis. And the war in Gaza. 2 U.S. officials and other sources with knowledge tell Axios why it matters. Trump's missions to reach a nuclear deal to avert war with Iran and hostages and ceasefire deal that could end the war in Gaza, both facing recent setbacks. A senior U.S. official told Axios the president sees both crises as intertwined and part of a broader regional reality he is trying to shape. Now, Steve Witkoff and President Trump, I feel they were never duped. They were never part of the plan. I do believe Steve Witkoff was seriously over there trying to negotiate peace. But here's the deal on this. Number 46, why it matters. Trump's mission to reach a nuclear deal to avert war with Iran. Behind the scenes, U.S. officials said the retreat at Camp David included several policy sessions. The meeting on Iran and Gaza were attended by Trump, Vice President Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, CIA Director, one more time, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, and other senior officials. CIA Director, where's the CIA Director right now? Where are they at? Where has Ratcliffe been? CIA Director. Trump said Monday that generals and admirals also attended the meeting, but declined to say what they discussed. There was nothing that was not discussed, a U.S. official said. Everyone is moving around so fast. The president, almost every weekend, JD is out all the time, and this was the right time. We will do it more often. Let me see. I wanted to see here. Iran's officials have been finalizing their response to the U.S. nuclear deal proposal and are expected to deliver a formal rejection within the next 24 hours. Now, remember, this is June 8th on a Sunday. Prime Minister Netanyahu is more interested in pursuing military option through his assured Trump won't make a move while these ongoing attacks are reported. Now, you got to keep in mind, this is Sunday, and I think, if memory serves me right, let me see if I have it. Yeah. Number 47. So Trump has a meeting with everyone. No Tulsi Gabbard. Let me wrap this up. Trump has a meeting with everyone. No Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence. Director of National Intelligence tells us in March they can't find any indication of actually a nuclear bomb being produced in Iran. Just saying, it's out there. We've heard Netanyahu give us different timelines, even recently, a year, 10 years ago, immediately, right? Got different timelines. I've lived 46 years with a supreme leader of Iran. Not saying it's good, but it's been there. They meet June 8th on a Sunday. No Tulsi Gabbard, Ratcliffe, CIA, the generals, everyone's in a meeting at Camp David. Trump called Netanyahu Monday before leaving Camp David. After the call, Trump told reporters Iran's demands were just not acceptable, particularly on uranium enrichment. So, they meet at Camp David. No Tulsi Gabbard. CIA, Sunday. Monday, he calls Netanyahu. Now, yesterday, give me video 5.
But how close do you personally think that they were to getting one? Because Tulsi Gabbard testified in March that the intelligence community said Iran wasn't building a nuclear weapon.
I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to having it.
So that's last night flying home. Last night, Air Force One flying home. Trump said very close. How close are we? Very close. Tulsi Gabbard said in March that we didn't have anything going on. I don't care what she said. I don't care what she said. Very close. All right, so President Trump cut his trip short. He cut his trip short. He left. He returned home. And we don't have anything that I'm aware of, and I will check during the break, happening in the Situation Room. But we have the Great MAGA Divide. We have the Great MAGA Divide over this. And what's the outcome going to be there? America First, who, let's see, I'll find it during the break. And by the way, we also became aware of the 2020 election was rigged. All right, take a break. We'll be right back after these messages.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report. Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
Oh, by the way, the big, beautiful bill, they're, let's see, phasing out. Anytime the Senate, I like that phrase, a drunk senator. Yeah, I'm tired of these drunk senators coming out. Can you name names? I can name a couple names. I've been told which ones have the liquor cabinet right there, the drunk senators. Yeah. They got to sober up. I'm tired of a drunk senator coming out and telling me we got to send our kids to war. If they were going to war with Russia, they want to go fight Vladimir Putin, right? My God. Oh, wow. So anyhow, I'm your host, BKP. Oh, that big, beautiful bill. Watch this one. This is the phrase that pays, right? That's back radio days. Children's, if you're watching, we had the phrase that pays, right? So the phrase that pays is phased out. They're going to phase out energy tax credits, phase in. Anytime they're phasing in and phasing out, they phase to never do it. Oh, wow. Okay, so watch the big, beautiful bill. We'll talk about that in a minute. At 10 o'clock, we have the Georgia Hour. We're going to tie a lot of things together today during the Georgia Hour. We're going to talk a little more about the candidates in the Georgia Hour and some things going on. Someone sent me a nickname yesterday, and I'm going to steal it. I'm going to steal a nickname from you. You know who you are. You'll know it when you get to it. I got a nickname for someone that is anticipating running for office, and it's mine. It will go on graphics and everything. 10 o'clock. Anyhow, that being said, show them let's go with number 6, the studio. So I have enough Reagan. Look, I got the Reagan movie. I got the Reagan. That's the Reagan. This is the Reagan calendar up here. Now leave that up. But I have the Reagan calendar, and it is opened to November 2020, and I have an S. I took a magic marker, and I put an S. Oh, did you put me back on full screen? Okay. I put an S in the Tuesday for history, the day the election was stolen from the American people. So I've got the Reagan movie, which I got to thank Magastruck, right? Magastruck, the Viking dude of Cherokee County for that. He sent me that. Thank you very much. Then I got Ross Perot. And there's a reason I like Ross Perot. We'll talk about that later. This was my dad's Reagan. I got that from my dad. Let's see what else. I got Ty Cobb. I have to have some baseball. I got the Rat Pack. But over here, the movie Vindicated. Thank you, Diane, every day. I still have, I'm going to put some more movie posters up. I'm redesigning the entire studio now. These are big. These are almost 3x4. So this took a lot of wall. Go ahead and give me number 7. I think 7 zeros in a little better. And then I have some, is that 7 or is that, give me, there it is. So Vindicated, and I know there's a glare. Don't send me text. And then Reagan, the movie poster. So that's just a little of the studio here. Now take that down. All right, so Make America Great Again. Make America Great Again. America first. Now, I am MAGA. I am Make America Great Again. I'm America first. All right? I'm America first. Let's go through some of the graphics out there from yesterday. Okay. Number 9. And you know I like Tucker Carlson. But if Trump says something, it's very powerful. So I don't want to say like Trump, that Tucker ran to Steve Bannon, but he immediately got on Steve Bannon yesterday. Now, I have not totally listened to the Tucker Carlson interview of Steve Bannon, but I did listen to the War Room where Tucker was on there for about 40 minutes. I listened to that yesterday because I wanted to see the direction they were going in. So Trump uses savage word to describe Tucker Carlson that sends Marjorie Taylor Greene ballistic as MAGA civil war erupts over America's role in Israel's war with Iran. Wow. Everybody. Now, number 10. What did Trump say? Right? Somebody please explain to Kooky, lend me your comb. Someone please explain to Kooky Tucker Carlson that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Damn it. Tucker, let me just explain this to you. Just saying. Easy. Don't get upset with me, Tucker. Just carrying the message, okay? They can't have a nuclear weapon. Tucker? Wow, this is, so then MTG comes out, number 11. Tucker Carlson is one of my favorite people. Well, hell, what's going on here? What's happening? So I got Trump, I got Tucker Kooky, MTG. Tucker's one of my favorite. Tucker goes to Steve Bannon. Laura Loomer's Jewish, and she has definitely a lane that she's in. All right. Whoa. And you got, you never can leave out my man over at InfoWars, right? You never can leave that guy out. All right. So Tucker Carlson is one of my favorite people. Loves his wife, children, and his country. Since being fired from the neocon network Fox News, he has more popularity and viewers than ever before. He unapologetically believes the same thing I do. Now, MTG, let me just say this. MTG will get in a lane she feels is the most profitable at the current time. Oh, I'm going to get in so much trouble because they have people assigned to watch this show. You may think out there, Travis Bowden and some of you that I have 14 viewers. Well, I got 28. But they're assigned to watch the show. Yes, they have people assigned. because she's in Georgia and she acts like she doesn't want to know what I say, but they keep an eye. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I don't hate anybody. I think you know that. If you're new to the show, I don't. I don't have any hate in my heart. But politicians are politicians, and they will be called out here when it's necessary. So Marjorie Taylor Greene always looks for the lane that has the most amount of cash flowing at that time. Now, if tomorrow there's another lane and she looks, look, all the cash going down that hill. Let's get over there. That's where she'll be. Just saying. And this could have something to do with her anticipating maybe running for governor. Since being fired from the neocon network, Fox News has more popularity. He has more popularity. The same thing. That if we don't fight for our own country and our own people, then we will no longer have a country for our children and our grandchildren. And foreign wars, interventions, regime change, put America last, kill innocent people, and are making us broke and will ultimately lead to our destruction. That's not kooky. Whoa. Shall we? Wait a minute. That's not kooky. Who is she talking about? Give me number 10. Kooky, Tucker Carlson. Give me number 11. That's not kooky. That's what millions of Americans voted for. That's what we believe in is America first. Now, Tucker Carlson said yesterday, I love President Trump. And, I wish we could get to him. And we're talking about the Department of Justice, the CIA, right? All these agencies, FBI, good people, deep state. So is the deep state running things? Now, I'm not going to play too much of it, but give me video 2 for just a minute. This is Tucker and Bannon yesterday, video 2.
Donald J. Trump gets elected in November on the back of this amazing coalition, unprecedented coalition, different parts of American society. You never thought of anything in common. Trump paints a picture that makes it really obvious that the old structure, left versus right, Democrat versus Republican, is basically BS and a control device, I think. This is my interpretation anyway. So he creates this brand new coalition. New York Times writes almost nothing about it because it's such a massive threat. But this coalition, which you described earlier and more precisely than anybody by far, is the defining fact of American politics. And it kind of feels like it's being blown up over this war in Iran. That's my observation. Correct me.
Well, I think if you look at the 3 planks, stop the forever wars, seal the border and deport the illegal alien, invaders, and redo the commercial relationships in the world around trade deals and bring high value added manufacturing jobs back here. They're trying to shut all 3 down, right? But the one that they're obsessed with the most, which I find strange, is the forever wars. They've got to be in the forever wars, and particularly in the Middle East. I mean, this is and I'm a big supporter of Israel.
Yes.
And I'm telling people, hey, if we get sucked into this war, which inexorably looks like it's going to happen on the combat side, it's going to not just blow up the coalition, it's also going to thwart what we're doing with the most important thing, which is the deportation of the illegal alien invaders that are here. If we don't do that, we don't have a country. And you just see right now, they're doubling, tripling out. This is actually potentially a real civil war in our biggest cities. And President Trump has to have our backing. And this came out of nowhere. I mean, the trade deals you saw, he put together Liberation Day, but they've been thinking about it a long time. I mean, Trump's been talking about this since Lou Dobbs back in the 90s. He lays that out there. It's very sophisticated. He's got Scott Bessent running around with Lutnick. They're trying to make these deals. He sealed the border already in the first 60 days. Now we're really going down and actually having the deportation, see the fight. And then out of nowhere comes a war with Persia. It's like a shooting war with Persia, a massive shooting war with Persia. And it's like, how did this happen? And that's why I've been up as a defender of Israel and someone that's very pro-Israel. I've been saying, hey, this is going to be the end of Israel because of the way these decisions have been made. And have, I think, shockingly today early when we had you on the show, you bring up a point that we have to address, which I think it's the thing itself. What is it about this apparatus? When you have a coalition that's like 1932 that's coming together, like Roosevelt had Harvard professors and crackers and Democrats and ranchers out west and big city bosses and the Irish and the Italians, and he put it all together and they juggled it. And
they got Brooklyn, Butte, Montana, Birmingham, Alabama, and they're all on the same side. Like, how did that happen?
And they govern literally almost all the way to Trump. You know, Reagan took out part of it. Newt Gingrich took.
All right, so I'm very interested in this interview, and I'm listening to it yesterday. I started that one. I listened to the other one, and I'm wondering like what lanes. But what I find interesting that Bannon says there is he actually, instead of saying Iran, he says Persia. He does say Persia. Find that interesting. So here you number 12. Journalist Tucker Carlson. Carlson spoke as the president was in Canada. He pledged, Carlson said yesterday, and I've heard him say this quite often, because there's attacks on Tucker saying, well, he used to hate Trump and he was wrong on this and he was wrong on this. Folks, even yesterday, he tells Steve Bannon, I was wrong on certain things. I've listened to how many interviews where Tucker looks at the guest and says, I was wrong. There were years ago, I carried the patriotic flag. I did that when I was in the network world. He has said that multiple times. So yesterday might have called him kooky, but he pledged his support, his support for President Trump yesterday. Now, that being said, in the MAGA world, what about this? All right. Number 24. America first means many great things, including the fact that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, make America great again. So here is Donald Trump, President of the United States, who I support. I tend to always have to say that. Israel, that I support, wanting to redefine make America great again and what America first is. What America first is. Now, Trump comes in, he seals the border. That's great. Now, I want to hold on to this one. What number is that? Whatever number that is, hold on to this one, okay? But we have a priority list. We're going to go, young people don't quite understand this. And don't take that wrong. They say America first. And I am never going to be negative to young people. I have great nieces and nephews. I have a great son, a great daughter. I have not great grandchildren. I have grandchildren who happen to be great people. I hang out with young people to keep me fresh. I hang out with older people and listen to them. I do. I start conversations with them so I can hear from them. I had a great group Saturday. I throw stuff out. They talk to me. That being said, I think we have, seriously, in my age, we have a different feeling of America first right now. We just do. And I told you earlier, it's not we're turning on Israel. We just have a different definition. We grew up, especially myself, our lives started in the post-republic, and we want to restore the republic. I've always said that. I just want to restore the republic, and I don't see this being part of what I feel is a priority, restoring the republic, for which it stands one nation under God. I don't see that in this. Number 25. I remember Trump said this. Never forget over the fact that Obama was able to send $1.7 billion in cash to Iran. Nobody in Congress, FBI, justice called for an investigation, right? We know that. We know that, you and I both, we know that no one has stood trial, and we haven't put any of the people in jail that need to be in jail. So let me just couple more here very quickly, because I want to show you this before I go back to America First. I want to go back to that. Maybe you share this feeling with me. 49, right? U.S. Steel. No more. I'm a guy that grew up with, my uncle died, worked at Sparrows Point, Baltimore, Maryland, right? Bethlehem Steel. I'm a guy that grew up that I was able to see going to work off to the right for years, Bethlehem Steel. Just saying. And then I have to be told this is never coming back. You got to accept this is never coming back. All right? So, now, I do not want an argument with my dear friends here, because number 62. See, we discuss immigration different, but we're not different on when it comes to, yes, they're illegal. They should not be taking our resources. They should not be here illegally. They should be sent out of here. All I do is look and say, what happens? See, you disagree with me, and I know who you are, and I'm going to call you out because you know who you are. You send me emails all the time, and thank you. You mean so much to me. I'm just telling you, I've got one viewer that just sends me really good, tough emails, and I love them. But you are a send them all back. All right? And I'm good with that. You and I are not disagreeing, no matter what you think. I've just watched what happened. So when I see America First, I've got my view of it. I don't know what yours is, and that's not directed at you. Trump officials reserve guidance exemptions, farm, hotel, and immigration raids. So they kindly say, look, 63, Trump officials reserve guidance exempting farms, hotel, and immigration raids. You see, you can't do that. You got to take everybody, or you can't take anybody. What? Yes, you have to take everybody. You can't exempt the farms. You can't exempt hotels. Can't do that. So we're going to go over this. And then we have this right here, 84, right? So we've got immigration. Trump shut it down. Trying to bring manufacturing back. Military parade versus No Kings protest. So now, remember, America First. Go back to, I have the one I wanted you to save. I want you to go back there, but not yet. I mean, easy on the trigger finger there, okay? Easy on the trigger finger. I just want this one first, all right? So America First. Not that one. You could go to that one and just leave it there. Go to the one you just had and don't touch it till I say move. Thank you, Diane. Thank you. Don't go getting touchy on it. Now, America First means many great things, including the fact that Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. Okay. 49. So 49, and then go back here. We talk about steel tariffs, right? And dumping steel in this country. And we do have some steel manufacturers. But when you sit here today, we talk about Iran and nuclear weapons, and they can't have a nuke in America first. U.S. Steel is now owned by Japan. Okay? Japan. You see, I watched Japan dump their cars in this country. I watched Japan. I was there. I watched Japan dump their Toyotas. I watched Japan dump their Hondas. I watch other countries drop their Nissans, which I own one. Okay? There's a Toyota and a Nissan in my driveway. There is. I can't not. I have to say it. There's a Toyota and a Nissan in my driveway. But I watch them. I'm of the age. I'm post Republic coup JFK. I'm right there. From 1963 to today. I've never lived in the Republic, according to Ron Paul. That's when the Republic ended. CIA, a coup in my country is what I lived through. Bethlehem Steel, my uncle. I told you. Sparrows Point, Baltimore. There was a time you could go to Baltimore, and I've been there. There's an area in Baltimore where my uncle and aunt raised their 3 girls, right? Do you know where Dundalk, Maryland is? You can't go in there today. You can't go in there. At that time, it was steel workers raising their families. It's not anymore. I've been there. When you talk to me and you tell me that, do you know where Girard Avenue is, Allegheny Avenue is, right, in Philadelphia? Do you remember when the Sunday afternoon outing was to go to Allentown? Allentown, years ago? Let's all go, the Dutch. Let's all go to Allentown. Right? Oh, you can make fun of me if you want, but I know that. Years ago, Sunday trip was going to Allentown. You can't go to Allentown now, downtown. You can't go downtown Allentown, right? I get tired of when people say that we need to, do this and we need to do that. We've lost our inner cities; they're gone. Baltimore, but anyhow, we've lost our steel manufacturing. America first. That's why we see this. We say no. All right. Now, let me give you a couple dates. All right. Go back to the America First. I wrote a couple things down this morning I wanted to make sure of, because when Trump said America First, I was with him. But I was there in 1979. I remember 1979 very well. It's in my lifespan. 46 years. 46 years. Iran has had a supreme leader, took our hostages, and we've lived with it for 46 years. And we know how many years they told us they were developing a nuclear weapon. And as Steve Bannon said, it's Persia. So just got that one. NAFTA. I got this wrong. Can you take that down? I'm going to get in trouble. And I want to show this. I got this Ross Perot sign, right? Now, you remember when Ross Perot said he was running for president of the United States? Right? There it is. You see that? For president. Now, put that back up. Now, Ross Perot was a little bit out there. Go back with my picture there, America First. He was a little bit out there. But, George H. Bush, CIA. George H. Bush, CIA. China. Right? There's a reason George H. Bush was absolutely in love with Bill Clinton. We know that. Because Bill Clinton made a deal. Hey, you mean I can run around with girls and just do what I want? Yeah, here's what you're going to do. But NAFTA, December 17th, 1992, George H. Bush, right? And what did Ross Perot said? You'll hear a sucking sound. And that sucking sound will be the jobs sucked out of this country. You see, I lived in the big boats, all right? And I say this, and I hope I don't upset my mom out there, but I know Pontiac Bonneville. I know how many people can ride around and party in a Pontiac Bonneville, right? Yeah. Sorry. An old Chrysler New Yorker that you borrowed, You know, your friend that's dad had a Chrysler New Yorker? I know how many people could ride around in that thing on a Saturday night. You see, I lived in that, right? But I watched that sucking sound of this country just suck the jobs right out of here. Just gone. Leaving good paying jobs just gone. I don't know. I was there on that day. Let me give you another one I was there for. Most favored nation status. The China joined the World Trade Organization 2001. December 27, 2001, China was granted most favored nation status with the World Trade Organization from Bill Clinton. I watched all that. Every bit of it. Right? November 22nd, 1963, JFK was murdered in a coup. CIA involvement. We understand that. Ron Paul says that's the day we lost the republic. February 5th, 2003. February 5th, 2003. Colin Powell told me Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction and I needed to spend trillions of dollars. It resulted in what? Nothing, right? September 11th, 2001. I was alive. I've lived in the post-republic United States of America. And I want to return it for my children and my grandchildren and the future of this country. And Donald Trump is not my hope, but it's who I hope that will do it. I don't have my hope in Donald J. Trump, but the hope that someone will do this is Donald J. Trump, because I definitely don't see it down the line. And that's the frustration that we're having right now. Okay? We want to stay with the America First policy. Because, see, I lived in that. So young people out there, you should watch this. It's very important. If you wonder why, I can explain it to you every single day. All right? September 11, 2001. That's where most people my age crossed the Rubicon and lost faith in our government. I did. That's where I did. That's where the total faith in my government and what they were doing and what they were telling me that I could trust. And I won't go into that. But once again, another control move of the people. Because guess what happened November 22nd, 2002? They gave me Homeland Security. To make me feel secure, they gave me Homeland Security. Another bureaucracy. Resulted in 2001. You know what else they did for me after that? For me? They sent my friends and my neighbors and our kids to Afghanistan, chasing bin Laden, when we're told he was in Tehran in a hospital the whole time. We've been told stuff like that. We were chasing Tora Bora. We've heard stories. 60 Minutes. Oh, God, you can trust them. Tora Bora. We chased bin Laden. Killed our kids, our treasure, everything. Afghanistan. We built roads to the mines with minerals, and we gave it all to China. Left it all and gave it to China. You know what else we did? We went over to Iraq, where they throw a shoe at the president. We went over to Iraq, where we didn't get any oil, didn't get anything out of it. But again, we've got trillions of dollars in debt added to us. The military-industrial complex has made trillions of dollars, and our kids are without arms and legs and dead on the sand of Iraq. That's what they did for us, okay? Oh, let's go back. Someone said, quit leaving Jimmy Carter out. So I won't. April 1st, 1979, FEMA. Jimmy Carter gave me FEMA, right? FEMA. There's another agency to funnel NGOs. There's another agency to use NGOs and FEMA, right? April 1st. Oh, by the way, October 17th, 1979, Jimmy Carter gave me the Department of Education, right? Gave me the Department of Education. Yeah, I was there. See, I am post JFK right there, murdered, living in the post-Republic of the United States, living in a coup. Now, 46 years, the people in Iran have been living under a supreme leader right? That wants to annihilate Israel. I have been living 39 years, jokingly, under a regime after the republic that took over called the deep state that wants to totally annihilate my country. Right? And I'm scratching my head like, wait a minute. Why don't we save my place here that's going down the tubes? We can't go into cities. Okay? China, Smithfield, 2013. China owns the meatpacking plants. Smithfield, China, right? What did Trump say? Oh, don't go in the meatpacking plants. Why did you exempt meatpacking plants? Smithfield, China, largest farmland owner in the United States, Bill Gates. Bill Gates, largest farmland owner in the United States is Bill Gates. You got Cargill, ADM, and Tyson Foods. Trump said don't get them off the farms. Okay. Remember the Chinese balloon that flew over here from January 28th to Saturday, February 9th? Remember that balloon just flew over from China? Let's see if I have anything else. You see, every bit of that happened, and then the Biden administration. Because what we know is we know this. See, I lived in all of that. I lived in all of that. And then what they did to me, all right, I don't know what they did to you, but I'm going to tell you what they did to me, right? They, 31. Hey, look, you're on your own. I say it like that nicely because I'm not drawing your conclusion to anything. This is fully my opinion. This is what they did to me. This is why I am like I am, right? Rigged 2020 election. Millions of mail-in ballots will be printed by foreign countries and others. It will be the scandal of our times. 6/22/2020. I actually want to go to tears. I really do. I really do. I just want to go to tears. Because the bullshit that I see today, Iran, Israel, Ukraine, Russia, European, this nation. The next time somebody sends me a message that says, if Trump was elected in 2020 and was put into office, we wouldn't have known all this. Don't send me that anymore. Don't send me that. Save it for yourself. Believe what you want. We would not have had this all come to surface. I didn't need any of this shit to come to surface in my life. I didn't need any of this crap. But he told you on 6/22/20. But Brad Raffensperger in Georgia tried to set the man up. Fonnie Willis in Georgia tried to put the man in jail. They tried to assassinate the man, right? And then we have number 32. FBI Director Kash Patel finds documents alleging the CCP plotted interference in the 2020 election by creating fake mail-in ballots. Now we're sitting here, we got 50 million. The Biden administration was installed. The deep state, the Biden administration is the first administration, very first administration, the Biden administration, to totally be run by the deep state. They finished it. It's totally run by the deep state. Other presidents in the past, even since JFK, wanted to feel like they can make a decision from time to time. not the Biden administration. Totally run by committee. Totally by committee. All right? 60 million people, I've been told. 50, 30, 10 million, whatever. Right? And now we want to deport everybody. But our media wants to show us little kids crying. We need to deport this one, and we need to deport this one. And if someone says, what are we going to do about the workers that we need? Because during this whole time in my age, we sent the white kids to college. Now, I do not. I live in an area where there's a lot of great people, hardworking people. Because I'm not leaving out the hardworking people. There's hardworking Americans born and raised in this country, farmers, so forth, hardworking people. But for the most part, you know, we told our men, don't be men, go off to college, learn to type, get a job in office. I probably don't want to go down that road right now. But now, if I say, hey, what are you going to do on these construction sites? What are you going to do on weed eaters? What are you going to do in meat processing? What are you going to do on the farms? Who's going to get, are you ready to pay $12 for a watermelon? That's what I'm saying. Then I get attacked, or I have something said to me like you think I support the illegals that's come into this country. When you and I both lived through every bit of this bullshit they've done to us, every last bit of this bullshit they've done to us and what they've done to this country. Now, you can't get mad when someone says, you can't tell me I don't support Israel. You can't tell me that my belief system is wrong. You can't tell me that when I just feel like, hey, I'd like to see the future of this country for my children that it was built on. And Donald Trump promised that. And we do not want to spend another dime going to the Middle East to war and send our kids. That doesn't make us the bad people. You got it? But it also doesn't make me someone that feels that, you know, Israel's on the back burner. So if I sit here today and I don't know if Iran has a nuke or not, I'm not the bad guy. If there's really graphics that show Iran has all these nuclear places, I'm not the bad guy if I think, oh, I'd like to see it for myself, you know? Can we get a tour? We'd like to see it ourselves. We're the people, we're the generation that Colin Powell told us about stuff like this, right? Remember? 9/11 Commission told us what happened. Remember? The list goes on, our whole lives. So I'm just telling you. Now take this down because I want to show you something. And I want to go to break because we got to get ready for the Georgia Hour at 10. I actually need about 7 minutes to regroup because I'm going to get wound up in that one too, I guess. This is, where's it at? Over here. This is Ronald Reagan. Now, I'm very cautious with the word hero. I went to the Reagan Library. This is a hero to me, Ronald Reagan. But let me give you the facts. Ronald Reagan wasn't exempt from the deep state, and it upsets me to this day. Ronald Wilson Reagan was an amazing leader, amazing foreign policy leader, amazing patriot. The economy, he brought us back from the brink of Jimmy Carter. But the one thing he could not do, he could not overcome the deep state. And it pains me to say that because we all know the deal. You see, 79, we know what happened. But we also know George H. Bush went to China. We also know George H. Bush, CIA. We also know George H. Bush, NAFTA. And what we know is back then, the conventions were different. And Ronald Reagan went in there, and it was a little bit of a contested convention. He had run against George H. there, Voodoo Economics. George H. was his opponent. Little bit of contention in the convention. So here's the story that's told all too often. They took Ronald Reagan up in a room and they set him down and said, look, the way we win is we go through this convention unified, right? Don't you like that one? Unified. We're going to go through this convention unified. We're not going to have any contention whatsoever. Everybody's going to be cheering so hard for Ronald Wilson Reagan. You got it? Ronald Reagan basically, I'm just paraphrasing this, says, well, that's really what we need to do if we want to win and beat Jimmy Carter. He was the incumbent. But they said, but there's one catch. George H. Bush will be your VP. Now, they didn't tell him this, but it was so he could infiltrate CIA, Reagan's White House, so he could infiltrate, report back to the right people, so he could set things up for when he became president. George H. never wanted to be president over 4 years. He was fine with Clinton. He ran Clinton. Yeah, absolutely ran Clinton. He was fine with that. That did not bother him. All right? Period. But George H. is going to be your VP, Ronald Reagan, and you're going to like it. You understand? And what we're going to do is we're going to let you govern the country. We're going to let you get your tax policies in place. We're going to let you negotiate on, foreign policy. We're going to work with you. But George H. will be there, and we'll let you know when we need to tweak some things. Got it? As much as I love Ronald Reagan, he wasn't exempt from the deep state. We'll be back with the Georgia. I don't know where this comes from. I really don't. I don't know. I hear the lanes and all. I'm like, oh my God. Let's take a break. We'll be back with the Georgia Hour right after these messages. See if I have something. Take a break.
Massive truck discounts are back at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Up to $10,000 off Silverado 1500s. Up to $5,000 off Silverado 2500s. Don't wait. Get them before they're gone. $10,000 off Silverado 1500s. $5,000 off Silverado 2500s at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCar Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance. Your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
I'm back. I finally made it back, Diane. Wow. That was a tough 2 hours. Welcome to the Georgia Hour. I am your host, BKP. Diane, I just sent you 2 new graphics. I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching BKP. No, you're not. Let's start all over. I had the last 2 hours, folks. You got to go check it out this morning. Welcome to the Georgia Hour. I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching on Voice of RuralAmerica.com. Voice of RuralAmerica.com. All right. So first of all, we will get into a lot of stuff this morning on the Georgia Hour, and is this important? Check again, Diane. I thought I sent it to you. I thought I just sent you 2 photos. Let's see. Yeah, I've got a 95 and a 94 and 95. Just check again. Make sure they went through and let me know. Thank you. It shows they sent. And sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to send again, I guess. Hang tight with us, folks. All right, it shows it sent a second time. So check it out. Make sure you're getting them. Now, folks, today's election day in Georgia. All right. So give me number 20. And it's the service commissioner's race here in Georgia. It's very important. It's very important that you go vote. All right. Public service commissioner. Now, I am supporting Lee got him. Thank you, Diane. I'm supporting Lee Munns for Public Service Commissioner District 2, but that is today. Please go vote. A lot of negative comments about this. In fact, Democrats are looking at, give me number 86, and then we'll get out of this. And why today's primary is a high stakes test for Georgia Democrats. All right. And for the first time in 5 years, members of the Public Service, number 87, Public Service Commission are on the ballot with 2 races before the voters today. Early voting turnout was abysmally low. But that doesn't mean the stakes are low. Just ask Fulton County Democrat Committee. An internal memo we obtained calls the race an immediate test of Democratic infrastructure as they work to chip away at the GOP control of 5-member commission that regulates Georgia's investor-owned utilities. With deep implications for energy affordability, broadband access, and climate justice, this race demands county-level attention that is equal to any Senate or gubernatorial race, reads the party's memo, which spells out the plans to target 180,000 Fulton voters who skipped last year's election. All right. So this is a big election. Republicans hold all 5 seats right now on the Public Service Commission, and Democrats wanting to make a move here, or at least wanting to move the ball and have this be a precursor, we'll say it like that, to 2026. So give me number 20 one more time. Lee Munns, Get out and vote. Encourage people. I know this is not an attractive conversation. It's not an attractive race. It's not an exciting race. Now, I will say this, okay? John Ossoff in the Senate race will be a big deal. But I'm not using this as a parallel to that 2026 midterm. But keep in mind, Donald Trump will not be on the ballot in 2026. And it's easy to see that voter turnout will slip. And I have to tell you like this, Republicans should be doing a better job right now with this election. Republicans have not done a very good job getting the word out for this election today. So go vote. All right. Now we're going to leave that there. Now the other one is, I said that, take that down. All right. So I want to go with this next. 94 and 95. And these are things you want to keep up with. All right. So we know the story that Fulton County, this is published June 17th, 2025. That would be today. And we know that the GOP chairman, Josh McCoon, went down and made a presentation to the Fulton County Board of Commission. Now, as we not learn, you and I, but as it is put out there publicly, that we have from Kash Patel foreign involvement in our elections in 2020, and we know what happened in Fulton County, and we know about the pristine ballots that were perfect. The paper was perfect. All these things that we know about 2020, it's very important that we have the right people on election boards. So this is not an attractive, we'll talk about Fulton County here, but this is not an attractive topic. It's not. But every county in Georgia now has an election board and an election commissioner or whatever that handles elections. Is it the 2024? This would be the 2025. In the 2024 Georgia legislative session, there was approximately 15 probate judges that still handled and was responsible for your county elections. All right. Approximately 15 probate judges. In 2024, the Georgia State Legislature, signed by Governor Kemp, took that responsibility away from those 15 probate judges. So let me just say this. Have you ever gone to court, whether you like it or not, but you're sitting there and you hear an attorney cite law, other cases, they say, well, this law went into effect on this day, but this law here is the most recent law signed by the governor that's on the books or whatever. You hear all that, we'll call it mumbo jumbo. And the only thing that I have said when it comes to the Republican Party of Georgia after 2020, it's absolutely dismal the way that the Republican Party of Georgia has allowed the county party, to be decimated, to not have the control for their nominee to be on an election board. Now, what you will hear is all elections are local in Georgia. So what we do in Georgia, if you're out there, is our elections are run by our counties. County commissioners, they appoint a chair of the committee. They have people that work the office. They take your registration, they go through everything, they set everything up for an election, and it's run through an election office in your county. Now, again, going back, when the 15 probate judges in that law, so you got 15 counties there, said, you know what? The new law says that not only do probate judges no longer officiate over elections in these counties, it's against Georgia state law now. Also, the commission in that county does not have to accept your party appointee. Now, there's precedent set, and you have to understand, a county does not. Now, if the Republican Party wins this case, if they win this case, it's going to be enormous. And I want you to know, I support this case. It's got nothing to do with Josh McCoon or anyone. I support this case. But I'm wondering why this case, why didn't we fight the language in the probate judge law that came into place that said the counties do not have to accept a Republican? Why were those 15 counties not as important to accept a Republican? Why is this? Because this gets TV time. This gets national attention. This gets certain people out there with 1 million followers to retweet it, whatever it may be. Right? What about those other 15 counties? So here is a fact. All right. And I hope they win this case. But Republicans suing Fulton County leaders, counties run your election. Fulton County suing, Republicans suing Fulton County leaders over election board nominees. Okay? Now, get it to where I can see it. Fulton County Republicans have filed a lawsuit against the Board of Commissioners to force them to approve 2 of the party's nominees to the county Board of Elections. The lawsuit claims commissioners tabled the nomination of Jason Frazier and Julie Adams, saying that they were far right. So the Republican Party is supposed to appoint 2, and the Democratic Party is supposed to appoint 2, and then in Fulton County, you're supposed to find a nonpartisan to chair the committee. Yeah, right. So anyhow, Fulton County put up Jason Frazier once again and Julie Adams. They say they're far right. Adams made headlines last year after she argued that she should be allowed to withhold certification of the county's election if she believed the results were incorrect and or unreliable. Now, this is where this gets really important, folks, in Georgia. Really important. It's on that county level where that individual can see something nefarious, something incorrect, corrupt happening and speak up. It's on that level. So the importance of having Republicans in those seats is enormous. And why the Republican Party dropped the ball on this, I don't know. This should have been one of the largest issues to go with everything. Now, Chairman Josh McCoon of the Republican Party installed Chairman Josh McCoon of the Republican Party because we do not have accurate data that he was elected. We don't have accurate data, and I'm not a sore loser. I just can't prove that he was elected. Okay. But the acting chairman of the Georgia Republican Party, Josh McCoon, bragged all through his campaign on how many election integrity lawsuits we have won. But the integrity of our elections in our counties for Republicans, it just went out the window. And people don't pay attention to that. This should have been right in line. Brad Carver or whoever that is, the establishment, Brad Carver, This should have been right in line with one of the largest battles in the state, making sure. I remember when Julie Adams said, hey, I got a problem with this election. She's in Fulton County, right? You see, we get problems with elections in Pickens County. No disrespect to the person running the elections. Got it? Don't want to argue with them. These are actually good people. When you get out around Metro, there's actually some really good people running our elections, and we won't get into that, right? But we got problems in elections in all these counties. We just have to have the people in there that'll step up, speak up, and say something when they see something. Why the Republicans would drop this ball, I don't know. Now, she made headlines, so give me number 95. Republicans have filed a new lawsuit claiming that the county's Board of Commission blocked 2 of their party's nominees. In the lawsuit, which was filed Friday afternoon, the GOP says that the county officials violated state law by not confirming Jason Frazier and Julie Adams as its nominees to the board. Now, I'm going to say this. I support the lawsuit. I support Jason Frazier and Julie Adams being on the Fulton County Board of Commission for the election board. I support that. I hope they win this. I'm behind them. But I don't think it's state law. And I've argued that. I do not think it's state law that commission has to adhere. I don't think so. I don't think it's state law that they have to take the Republican nominee. They don't have to. The petition is asking that the Superior Court of Fulton County to order the county to appoint Frazier and Adams to the board for the 2025 to 2026 term and stop the county from appointing any other individual to the seats in the meantime. So Fulton County obviously, right? Fulton County obviously wants, I keep saying it, I can say it for an hour. I want these 2 people on the election board in Fulton County. Absolutely. But we did not, we should have been fighting this battle for a long time. A long time. So we want for 25 through 27, we want Adams and Frazier on the election board in Fulton County. They don't want them on there. Oh, they definitely don't want them on there. Because why? Ossoff, the Senate, the governor's race. They don't want them on there. Under Georgia law, the commission is required to appoint 2 people from the political parties that received the largest votes in the state, and those being the Republican and Democrat. However, the suit alleges that the Board of Commissioners voted instead to pass motions to table these. Now, I want you, and we're going to move on from this, but I want you to find me where Georgia law says. Now, look, this could be just an error of Fox 5. Under Georgia law, the commission is required to appoint 2 people from political parties that received the largest number of votes. Now, this is a real argument that's going to probably play out in court. I do not think that's state law. Now, I will tell you, a commission is not bound on their appointees if they can find good reason not to accept them. There is a loophole. So you have, and it actually, you have an appointee going to a commission. So the Republican Party says to the commission, this is who we want on our side for the election board. We get 2, here's the 2 we want. That commission is probably within their full rights under the law to scrutinize those people and say, for this reason or that reason, send us someone else. Or we're not satisfied, we'll pick our own. I will tell you this, it's so convoluted in the state of Georgia. You can go to Cherokee County, right? Fulton County. You can go to the 15 counties that the probate judges no longer are in charge of the elections. And they have new commissions, election boards that are running. I keep calling it commission. I shouldn't do that. That's an elected official in the county. They have new election boards, and they're not required by law to accept the party's nominee. You have the Republican coalition. So I will tell you this right here, I'm supporting these two individuals in Fulton County. This right here, I do believe, is probably the biggest error right at the top that the Georgia Republican Party made, of this being such a convoluted, as my friend used to call it, menagerie. When it was just, this is a total menagerie. There should be no way that every county in the state basically could be in segments of different interpretations of the law in Georgia when it comes to your state election board. So I can't say enough I support these two nominees. I can't say enough they need to be on the Board of Elections in Fulton County when we go into 2026. But the Republican Party dropped the ball on this. I have preached this over and over and over. And in Georgia, Brad Raffensperger, our Secretary of State in Georgia, our Secretary of State oversees elections, but they're actually run independently in the counties. The counties run their elections, overseen by the SOS in Atlanta. But the Secretary of State will put fear into the counties that they're doing something wrong in this area or that area. So they try to overrule counties all the time. But in Georgia, to preserve our elections, all right, we should have been, and always should have been, fighting on the local level for our elections. For qualifying candidates, right? Putting people on election boards, having the ability to audit our own elections, should have always been at the forefront of the Georgia Republican Party. But it has not been. So I'm very concerned on 2026 and who they're putting on these election boards in some of these counties. So I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to tell you what other concerns I have going into 2026. And by the way, Secretary of State, I said yesterday that I was not aware of anyone making a formal announcement. We have all heard that Gabriel Sterling at the Secretary of State's office currently is going to run for Secretary of State. But I don't know that a formal move has been made. But I did like you sending me the message and saying the Teletubby. You called him the Teletubby. Okay. So I'm stealing that one. So Teletubby Gabriel Sterling, I'm not aware, has made an official announcement on Secretary of State. Take a break. We'll be right back.
Massive truck discounts are back at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Up to $10,000 off Silverado 1500s. Up to $5,000 off Silverado 2500s. Don't wait. Get them before they're gone. $10,000 off Silverado 1500s. $5,000 off Silverado 2500s at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Days Chevrolet.
Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting edge digital technology and state of the art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second to none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report. Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. This is the Georgia Hour with BKP on Voice of Rural America. Diane, I just sent you a video. See if you get the video. If you could you load this video? All right, because we're starting to get campaign. Now, I am not today. I've not glossed over, and I'm not going to. We're waiting on some developments. We're looking at some more stuff that's going on, but we're not glossing over the rigged convention. All right, we're not glossing over that at all. We're not leaving that out of the discussion. We will, from this point on, consider Josh McCoon the acting Georgia GOP chair, and the acting Georgia GOP chair. So let me say this, and I'm gonna leave it here. So give me number 31 for Georgia. Now we know this, okay? Trump was right on the money here. The rigged 2020 election, millions of mail-in ballots will be printed by foreign countries and others. It will be the scandal of our times. That was on June 22nd in 2020. All right. Now, underneath there, you see this was yesterday. Yesterday, FBI Director Kash Patel finds documents alleging the Chinese Communist Party plotted interference in the 2020 election by creating fake mail-in ballots. All right. Now, we know that happened in 2020. All right. And I don't want to lose time here. And when I say that, I don't want to lose, give me number 30. Kash Patel, the FBI located. I have immediately declassified the material and turned the documents over to Chairman Grassley for further review. All right. Now, this is something we know. And here in Georgia, where I sit, right, when we talk about securing our elections, we know what happened in 2020. We have a governor, Governor Brian Kemp, that would not call a special session in our state to review this. Would not stop the classification or certifying, would not stop certifying this election, knowing this is taking place. So from the top to the Secretary of State's office, to the phone call with Trump, to the electors, that 3 of them were brought up on RICO charges by Fani Willis, to our President of the United States, Donald Trump, being brought to Georgia to turn himself in to have a mugshot in Fulton County by Fani Willis, which drinks the old Grey Goose and is friends with Wade, right? Her boyfriend Wade. We watched all of this. But here we sit today, and they'll tell you how secure our elections are. And the Georgia GOP just asked us, number 3, to vote on this device. Vote on this device here to pick our state leadership for our party, knowing that from our Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, then the Georgia GOP allowed a resolution on the floor, non-binding resolution that everybody's making a big deal of, that Brad Raffensperger, Secretary of State of Georgia, cannot run as a Republican. So we have, now keep this in mind, we have a governor that knows this, name is Brian Kemp. We have a lieutenant governor that knows this, 2020, inside and out, his name is Burt Jones. We have an attorney general in the state of Georgia that knows this. Right? His name is Chris Carr. We have a Secretary of State in Georgia that knows this. His name is Brad Raffensperger. We have a Senate President pro temp that knows this. His name is John F. Kennedy, wants to be lieutenant governor now. We have a Senate Republican majority leader that knows this. His name is Steve Gooch. We have a Speaker of the House that knows this. His name is John Burns, Republican Speaker of the House, well aware of this. We have 9 Republican members of Congress that are well aware of this. And we have a president of the United States very aware of this. And everyone, with the exception of Governor Kemp, surrounded a failed chairman, Josh McCoon, and supported him for re-election to run the party, except for Brian Kemp. But Brian Kemp was very right in the forefront of congratulating him. Now, they all knew this, every one of them. John F. Kennedy wants to be lieutenant governor now. In fact, he just put out, he's got a John F. Kennedy, Senate Republic. Oh, by the way, everybody I just named, put this back up right here, Diane. Put down 31. Put that back up, right? Everybody I just named are Republicans, right? Everybody. John F. Kennedy. I've delivered conservative results under the Gold Dome and put Georgia families first. Join me as we continue to fight for hardworking Georgians and keep our state moving in the right direction. He wants to be lieutenant governor. Absolutely not. What have you done in your capacity? Look at the mess this world's in. You shouldn't be running for anything as Senate pro temp, President pro temp, right under the lieutenant governor. You should be asking to be lieutenant governor. What have you done? Look at the state of the world today. Do you realize the state of this world today? From Israel, Russia, Ukraine, the state of our everything happening in our country, the 40 million that crossed the border. Do you realize the state of the country today that escalated in the last 4 years? These people asking to run for office are complicit. I don't want to hear that I've delivered conservative results. Bullshit. You didn't deliver no damn conservative results. You were complicit. What did you do to stop the biggest crime in American history outside of JFK, your namesake, being assassinated? What have you done? What did you really do? Did you give me SB 202? Thank you. Please tell me one more time how you gave me SB 202. Do it. And tell me how it made it easier to vote and harder to cheat. While this country's in a total disaster that you participated, you could have stopped. Well, I'm just one. All right, so that's a good one. Now, I'm not attacking our good friend, but Burt Jones sent one out yesterday, and we're waiting for him to announce the run for governor. Okay, Georgia's lieutenant governor, Burt Jones. Real action, real results. I don't want any more of your damn campaign flyers. I'm tired of all of your damn campaign flyers. Who's writing this shit for you? I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. Real action, real results. Burt Jones is a business owner and a job creator. He's a husband, a father, a believer, and the 6th generation Georgia. That's nice. After a successful career in business, he has employed more than 2,000 Georgians, but entered public service, rising to lieutenant governor. As lieutenant governor, Burt has always focused on delivering results for Georgian families. Unmatched accomplishments. Let me see what those are. Now, this is a flyer someone sent me yesterday. Lowered state income tax. You're lieutenant governor. Why don't you just get rid of it? Strengthened bail reform. Okay. Secured our elections. You sure about that? Okay. Huh. I know Burt Jones, the lieutenant governor, has always been a Trump supporter and has worn the red hat, which I don't see here. And if I'm wrong, correct me on this flyer. If you got the flyer for lieutenant governor of the state of Georgia, Burt Jones, who wants to be governor, see if you see MAGA in there. See if you see Trump's name in there. Could you tell me? Because I can't see it very well. The person that sent me this flyer, and I didn't receive it. Can you see if you see MAGA? Can you see if you see America first, Georgia first, Donald Trump, what Donald Trump has meant to the state? Do you see anything? Because, we know the election was rigged. So let's see. Secured elections. So as lieutenant governor, what exactly did you do? Okay, we'll defended our rights, the unborn rights, and our Second Amendment rights. Well, aren't those just cliche? Isn't that what they always do? They say they defend the unborn and Second Amendment. Well, that's a good one. That's a good one right there. I like that. And that's something I really get behind. Protected women's sports. Passed the Riley-Gaines Act. So what you're telling me is a God-given right. What you're telling me is when GHSA was given the power, that's the Georgia High School Sports Association, GHSA, yeah, Georgia High School Sports Association. When you gave the power to the GHSA for them to decide if a man could dive in the pool with one of our daughters or go into a locker room with one of our daughters. But now Riley Gaines, which I support Riley Gaines. Oh no, there he goes against Riley. No, I'm not going against Riley Gaines. But now that Riley Gaines has come to the forefront, and that's a pretty good campaign issue right there. The God-given right to us to not have men pretending to be women going and trying to dress with their daughters in a locker room. Well, at least you got it done, right? Defended and supported school choice efforts. Okay. Safeguarded communities passed Fentanyl Education and Removal Act. So now Chris Carr, the Attorney General, wants to be. Now, give me the video I just ran to you. Play this video. It happened.
This is video you'll see only on Fox 5. The FBI in the Atlanta area making a major drug bust. Federal agents say they stopped millions of dollars of hard drugs from hitting the streets. The feds making that announcement just a few hours ago. Fox 5's Tyler Fingert is live at the FBI Atlanta headquarters with the story in DeKalb County and the exclusive video from a neighbor. Tyler.
Yeah, Christine, good afternoon to you. Federal agents say they found guns, drugs, and a lot of cold hard cash at 3 different locations in the Atlanta area earlier this month. They say it represents the largest fentanyl bust in state history. It was quite the early morning wake-up call in a South Fulton neighborhood as heavily armed FBI agents swarmed a home on Wolf Tail Court.
You see this on TV. You never expect that it will happen in front of your house.
Candace Barnett lives next to the home that was raided around 6 a.m. last Thursday. Her family's surveillance cameras captured the shocking scene. What do you think looking at it again?
Oh, when I saw it originally and now I'm seeing it again, that's just something you can't unsee.
The feds wanted to search the home of Bartholomew Keaton Harrelson. They breached his door, and a few minutes after ordering him to come out, he did.
Turn around. Come, walk back.
The South Fulton home was one of 3 locations tied to Harrelson, a convicted felon. The other 2 raids took place in Douglas County and Atlanta. Investigators say they found more than 550 pounds of illegal drugs.
This was a major drug trafficking operation. The FBI and DEA together seized approximately 750,000 pills. These pills contained either fentanyl, cocaine, or methamphetamine.
During the searches, officials say they also found pill presses to create counterfeit pills, about $150,000 cash, and a piece of unique jewelry. Agents also found more than 24 guns, including a machine gun. They say Harrelson was prepared to protect his operation. He faces 3 federal charges, including possession with intent to distribute controlled substances.
It is alarming to go into a residence or in the garage or wherever that particular area and find this amount of drugs, especially fentanyl.
They found multiple types of drugs in pill and powder form. Specifically, investigators say they found over 56 kilos of fentanyl. Agents say it found enough to kill everyone in Georgia at least 4 times.
This quantity of drugs doesn't get manufactured here in the United States, right? So in that fashion, yes, he was being supplied by the cartels.
And agents say they found over $9 million worth of drugs. They say that Harrelson faces at least 40 years in prison if he's convicted, and up to life in prison. There was also one other interesting find during their searches. Agents found a book, and I want to read that title to you right now. They say it was called How to Avoid Federal Drug Conspiracy and Firearms Charges. Interesting read there, probably. We're live in DeKalb County this afternoon. Tyler Fingert.
Okay, enough fentanyl to kill the Georgia population 4 times, the entire population. Now, Chris Carr, the Attorney General of Georgia, Brian Kemp, right? Now, is the governor's job on a daily basis to be a DEI, drug enforcement officer, or whatever it is? No. But see, here's the thing. The Attorney General of the state of Georgia, Chris Carr, he wants to be your next governor. See, these people know this. They know this. Now, I am amazed at this drug bust. I support this 100%. I think it's great. I support it. But what is the usual? Cash, guns, and drugs, right? This is campaign, running for office. What do we always find? We always find you look in your local paper when it's time for elections. What will you see? Guns. They find guns, cash, and drugs. Now, the one thing about this drug bust that's interesting in Georgia, the cartels. This is not manufactured here, a cartel supplier. You see, in Georgia, we know where the cartels are at. We know. So all these people wanting to run for office, Chris Carr. So right now for governor in Georgia, we have Burt Jones is going to announce, right? We don't know if Marjorie Taylor Greene, we don't know that, but Chris Carr has announced, the attorney general. This is really, are you telling me that those are going to be our choices to govern? Two people that were well aware of what happened in 2020, that want you to believe that they secured an election. Don't forget, Burt Jones, I like the guy, but he endorsed Josh McCoon. Did he say, hey, Josh, I'm going to endorse you for chairman of the Georgia Republican Party, but it's not going to look good for the party and me running as governor if I endorse you and you tell those people they can't vote on paper ballots. Maybe you might want to figure that out. It'll look good for both of us, Josh. Right? Sources tell me that Burt Jones has actually asked people the question, is there a machine out there that can be trusted? Is there a voting machine out there that can be trusted? Now, that's what sources tell me. I'll leave it there. Now, Lieutenant Governor right now, John F. Kennedy, Blake Tillery, right? Steve Gooch, and Greg Dolezal we hear, but I don't think he wants to enter the race considering. So those right now, Secretary of State, Attorney General, we have two candidates, and the name escapes me right now. The two candidates, we'll get that as soon as possible. Secretary of State is still an open race. I don't know that the Teletubby, that you call him, Gabriel Sterling, I don't know that he's running yet for Secretary of State. Don't know on that race. All right, we'll leave it there for now. We know John King, the insurance and fire safety commissioner in Georgia, stepping up to run for Senate. We also have John King's running for Senate. We also have Buddy Carter out of the 1st District running for Senate. So those are some of the races that we will follow. I'm telling you right now, things will bust wide open after July 4th with these elections. Let me give you a couple things that we needed to discuss before we leave. Give me number 88. Building a bridge. This is Charlie Bailey. He is the Democrat Party chair in Georgia. I want you to pay attention to this. Sometimes Republicans have a bad habit of just shooing this away and saying, no. But the Democrat Party in Georgia is launching a sweeping effort to recruit hundreds of candidates for local offices, part of a national push to ensure Republicans aren't unchallenged in critical down-ballot races. Now, Democrats know in certain areas that they don't stand a chance. They know there's areas and districts where they're going to lose 80-20 or have in the past. All right. But if you take an area in Georgia where Democrats generally lose 80-20, but they lose this time 76-24. They get a candidate on the ballot and it's 76-24. If that starts happening around the red districts in Georgia, we lose the state. We lose the state. I've tried to say that if David Cross would have been elected, and I'm not getting into whether he was or not because that's uncertain. The results of the election are uncertain and we don't know truthfully. But if David Cross was the chairman of the Georgia GOP, I can look at you right now, I was really going to work with anyone that I could in the rural counties to prevent this. Because I've worked in rural North Georgia, the 9th, the 14th. I've made sure I made a lot of alliances in the 2nd and the 1st and even in 10th or the rural counties, because we have to overcome Metro. So it's part of a national-wide contest every race initiative that targets more than 700 local seats, including mayor, town council, and city commissions ahead of 2022 filing deadlines. August 2022 filing deadlines. While many of these races are nonpartisan, Democrats are trying to build their bench and put pressure on conservative elected officials. Democrat Party of Georgia Chair Bailey said the aim is to build power from the ground up. Every pothole fixed, every park funded, every school supported. Now, let me tell you what else that means from the Democrats. All right? And they have a plan. Every time you say Democrats don't have a plan, they have a plan. You see, if they can get a candidate on the ballot on all these down ballot races, all right, they could scratch away at the vote, gives them more of a reason. You take your local races, if in 2026 you've got a mayor's race on the ballot at that time, city council at that time, a commission race, if they will get candidates on the ballot, it could excite their base. Don't take this wrong. You don't like to hear Democrats and excited. And get them out to vote to hurt the top of the ticket of Republicans. This is a plan you do not want to walk away from or turn away from, and don't think that they're not working on it around the state, putting people on the ballot. Number 89, always remember that Marjorie Taylor Greene is campaigning. She's campaigning. What she's exactly going to do, we don't know. But over in the 14th district, now you got to remember, in the last redistricting, the new lines, although the 9th and the 14th are really big plus R, I forget what the 14th district plus R it is at this time, what the real plus R number is. But when they swooped down and grabbed a part of Cobb County, doesn't make it real competitive for a Democrat, but it changes the landscape enough to where a Democrat challenger can fight a little bit. Not win, but fight a little bit. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, they need that opponent. Challengers are lining up to face U.S. Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene in the 14th Congressional District. At least 5 candidates, 3 Republicans and 2 Democrats, have either announced or filed to run against Rome Republican in 2026. All right, so we will be looking at this. Keep in mind right now, when you see MTG out there, there are things that are actually happening campaign-wise. Now, before I close, let me get back here. Don't forget, number 1, I am totally and completely against the GRA. I am. I told you this the other day. There's not a level. There's not a payoff. There's not an amount in a payoff that would cause me to turn a blind eye to any corruption. There's not a number. What price is there? It's non-negotiable because it's not there for me to turn a blind eye to corruption. Now, I'm not, quote, calling the GRA corrupt. You can do that on your own on social media. Enough of you do. But the GRA played a part, and they were in on a rigged election. We're talking about that 2020, right? The GRA was in on a rigged election to put Josh McCoon in office, right? As I refer to him as installed GOP chair. What else did I call him, right? The acting GOP chair. So the albino rhino there at the GRA, I am zero on the GRA until the leadership's gone. Clean your house up. Don't tell me you have a plan. Don't tell me changes are coming. I don't want to hear any of that. I love you out there, many of the GRA members. I think you're great people. Clean this crap up or don't come back to me on it, okay? Now, so Saturday, I want to give a Patriot shout out, and I'm not going to use the name. Oh, video 4. I got to do this video because I may do it every day. Video 4.
Keep your hands off my body. Protect our democracy. Our rights are in danger. Give us back our Constitution. Protect our parks.
So don't forget, she wants you to keep your hands off her body. I just wanted that to be clear. Give me number 93. So this is the Georgia Hour, and I'm going to start finding great patriots around the state. I'm going to start finding absolutely great patriots around the United States, okay? No, I want to back that up. I want to start finding great patriots right here in Georgia and highlight them. And in the future, I'm going to see if I can use their name. So I'm sitting with a gentleman, and he's wearing a Vietnam Army hat, Vietnam. And I always ask a lot of people in North Georgia, because we get a lot of people that move in that retire here. And I always ask a lot of people, where are you from? And I get some amazing stories. I mean, a lady telling me Saturday she lived 6 years in Taiwan. These are brilliant people, okay? So I said to this gentleman, he's wearing a Vietnam hat and an Army hat. And that really just gets to me. And we started talking about Vietnam, and his wife said, I said, where are you from? He said, Maine. I said, wow. And he said, go to the top, the furthest tip of Maine. And that's where I'm from. That's where I grew up. And his wife looked at me and said, he got drafted. And he was just across the river. This is the top of Maine in this map. The top of Maine is what you're seeing. And you're seeing the river, right, going into Quebec City. And his wife said, he got drafted, and he could basically see the Canadian border on the other side of the river. And he went to Vietnam. I was like, that took me just a second or two to absorb, because I know the stories of people that, went to Canada, burnt their draft cards, the old story, everything about it. And this guy's sitting there, and he's telling me about the tours that he did in Vietnam. And I'm like, this is amazing to me. I'm amazed by that kind of stuff. I mean, it just sits there. I just love, I'm like, you sit and you think you're in the presence of a star, a presence of a politician, someone great. And I was actually Saturday in the presence of just a true American hero. That when given a choice as a young kid, this is an older guy now, he's an older guy, but given a choice as a young kid, could see the Canadian border. And that was the distance he had to travel when he got drafted and he went to Vietnam. Wow. That's why it very much upsets me when these drunk senators come out and want to send our kids to war. All right, folks, always send me messages. Put our stuff up there. You have the phone number. You can text me at the phone number, okay? All right. Text me at the phone number right there. If it's something big, you want to text me, ask me to call you, give me a little detail. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I try to read everything you send, watch everything you send. I try to, and I try to communicate. There is Diane's email. All right. There is my email. There's no reason you can't connect with us. And give me number. I had it here a minute ago. Give me the election day. Where's it at? Number 20. I thought I had it there. There it is. Thank you, Diane. I am supporting Lee Munns. You vote for whoever you want, but go vote today. Go vote for the Public Service Commission. I am supporting Lee Munns. But whatever you do, go vote. All right? I'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Diane, get me out of here.